Hi there, grade 9s. This is going to be a little video so you can watch it again and pause whenever you want for how to make a table and make a graph in Logger Pro. So you have done your simulation, you've got all your data organized something like this. Again, these numbers are made up and different than what you have. I've changed the words here so you can't copy anything that's here. We now need to graph the data, and when we see all these numbers, it can be kind of confusing. The key thing is we need to know what our independent variable is. And your independent variable was actually in your titles. And you should all say actually table 2, 3, 4, 5. So whatever your independent variable is. Now let's imagine it was drop height. We're dropping something down. I'm not going to use a real thing, so I'm going to call this height. Then to get, if I press enter, it takes it to the new, to the cell below. A little trick is when you type something, I'll just start again. If I press Alt or Option Enter, and I press enter, it gives me a return inside the same cell. And now I want to have the symbol. So this would be H for height. And then I want to have the units. And let's say I had centimeters. Then I press Option or Alt Enter, and it gives me another return down below. And I'm going to say plus or minus. So on a Mac, I'm going to go Option Shift plus to get this. And let's say my uncertainty is 0.2 centimeters. So I've got that here. And now my dependent variable is this average value right here. So I'm just going to highlight these in a color so it's easy for you to see. Let's make those like a little kind of light greenish color. So it's this value here. This was the dependent variable. So we changed something. Some of you changed the mass of the powder that was in there. Some of you changed the mass of the water that the powder went into. That is your independent variable. So we're gonna have the independent variable. Let's highlight these another color. Let's make these kind of orangey. So whatever your independent variable is, I had 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15. These are again different numbers than what you would have because you cannot copy what I'm doing. You're gonna use the same skills, but you can't copy the numbers. That's the independent variable. The dependent variable is what we were measuring. And let's say in this case, it was time. In your experiment, it's totally different. So I'm gonna type time, then Option, Enter, or Alt, Enter, T, then this might be seconds. So I'm making a table kind of like this, but without the trials, just the first column and the last column. And then Option Enter, and this would be plus or minus, let's say 0.01 seconds. Who knows? I want to also center these. Center. Good. And I need to get these values here. So this is 1.30, 2.54, 3.74, 4.90, and 6.01. Again, notice that Excel is like, or not Excel, Google Sheets is ruining my decimal places. So I'm going to use these buttons right here to fix my number of decimal places. And let's imagine these, I might have maybe one decimal place. You decide what you're supposed to have, but the number of decimal places should match your uncertainty. This one is 1 and 1, this one is 2 and 2, whatever you got. So we're summarizing the data that we have into table number 6. And you're also going to copy and paste this table into your lab report. Now to make a graph. So you've downloaded Logger Pro. So first, you're going to copy just the numbers, not the words, just the numbers with Command C or Control C, or you right click and you go copy, however you like to do it. And you come over to Logger Pro and you come up here and we're going to go paste. Oh, that didn't work too well. Let's try that again, because nurse number always works well. Okay, so the key is when I use Command V to paste, it worked well. If I go up here, paste, it works well. The right click didn't work for some reason. I don't know why not. And it gives me this little teeny graph way down there. And this is really bad. Look at this big empty space. But the cool thing is you're gonna right click or 2-finger click. You can choose auto scale from 0. And it magically makes the graph beautiful to the right size. And there's one dot right up there. We now have to put the labels here. It's where Logger Pro is so awesome. We just click, I'm gonna make this graph a little smaller because I wanna see this so we don't need to go back and forth. Our X is this first column, this is height. So I'm just gonna double click this X and I'm gonna give this a name, height. Short name is this symbol, H. The U, see, press tab, come down here, short name is H. And the units is centimeters. Now actually that'll be the next one. And then our uncertainties, let's say I have 0.2, I click here on options, error bar calculation, and whatever my uncertainty is, I put it in here. When I put it in there, these error bars magically come on the graph. That's pretty cool. Now I'm gonna go over here to time, and I'm gonna double click this, and I come over here and I call this time, T, my units are seconds. Some of you maybe have degrees Celsius, perhaps. The cool thing is Logger Pro has the degree symbol right here. Now let's go degrees Celsius. If you need to be a degree Celsius person, but I'm doing seconds right now. Keep it in mind that my labels are different than your experiment. Oh, I forgot to do the uncertainty. That's okay. I just double click on here again. Just click, double click. Comes up, I go to options. I click on error bar calculations. I give this 0.01. And I click on done. And it gives me, in this case, a little teeny tiny error bar that barely I can't even see. Now, half of you are going to get a nice straight line like this. So you'll just click the nice straight line. It didn't work for some reason. Because I had to select this, just kind of click out. Try again. Oh my goodness, why is this behaving? Let's try again. See, it works. So if it does not work, just kind of click around, click, it had something selected, and it gave me this beautiful straight line. So I'm gonna copy this, and I would put this in my Google Doc. If it doesn't work, you may need to take a screenshot. Oopsie, try that again. With Command Control Shift 4 if you're on Macintosh, or you take a snip with Windows. So I copy that, and then I'm going to paste that into my lab report. Now, half of you will get a nice straight line like this, and the other half of you are going to have numbers. I'm going to get another table right here, and half of you are going to have numbers like this. I'm just going to move this a bit sideways. That's too far. Right there, let's see. And I want you to see what you're going to have, because I want to help out both groups equally. So you would have the same labels, that's fine, but you can have different numbers. So I'm going to copy these numbers. I'm going to put them in Logger. I'll delete this. I'm going to delete these, and you're going to get different numbers. Now these numbers are not, I'm telling you right now, because I'm being nice to you. Oh, again, it's not behaving. If it's not behaving, you can also just select things. If you select them all, then it works. That is not a straight line. I'll promise you that right now. This is not a straight line for these people. Okay. You should click up here, and we try fit on, oopsie, that was too early. We try fit on various things. Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. That looks not bad, but your teacher's going to help you even more than that. And one thing to generally try to see if it works is something called inverse. If inverse works nicely, it's a good one to use because inverse has a good meaning in math. It's not some other weird thing that we don't really get. Like if we choose like some other thing, doesn't mean so much. But this one looks nice and it matches much better. It actually has physical meaning. And if we had we could actually change this if you wanted to. You shouldn't do this, but I just want to show you. That's maybe what the pattern might look like if you had more things. But again, we right click, auto scale from 0. So you might get a graph that looks kind of like that. I hope that helps. And any questions, please ask.